Hi everyone and welcome to Crown Pointers. Today I brought David with me to talk about an experience that you might like to try, and it's called floating. The concern that I had going in was, is it going to be claustrophobic? And what did you think about that?
I didn't feel that it was claustrophobic. It was quite roomy. So there was a lot of space for you to kind of reach around, which there were some handles to get in. And then once you lie down, there's actually plenty of space between you and the walls. So it did feel pretty roomy. It was more the darkness that was a little interesting, not knowing where anything was.
The purpose of a sensory deprivation chamber or of floating is to limit the input or the stimuli that you're getting. And so it's some sort of a chamber with body temperature water, body temperature air, and it's pitch black. So there's essentially no input coming in. So you don't know which way is really up or down. You're supposed to have a sense of almost weightlessness. And you float in the chamber, and it's supposed to help with relaxation, meditation, mindfulness. And the water is really, really, really salty. It's got 1,000 pounds of Epsom salt. And so I think it's magnesium sulfate, which is supposed to be very healing also. And so you float in there for an hour, hour and a half, and it's supposed to help with kind of counterbalancing all the stimulation of everyday life and just be very calming. What did your mind do when you were in there?
My mind basically, at first it was trying to think of, oh, what's going on, when is this gonna end, the water's too hot, a lot of different things that just naturally just kind of reacting to what it felt like to just be in there at first. And eventually, once the water cooled down a bit, I felt a little calmer. It was easier to kind of start relaxing and getting into that mode of meditation. And, and got over the fact that it looked like a giant oven when you come in.
Overall, was the experience worthwhile? And if so, why?
I did think that the experience was worthwhile. First of all, it's interesting to when you take out vision, and you let your other senses take over, and now you're trying to, on top of that, really meditate and be in the moment. And it kind of shows you how much goes through your brain, and also how tight your muscles are, because anytime you even move a muscle, you all of a sudden, the water moves, and then you actually get a ripple effect. So it's very interesting to see how much actually goes on internally. And so it's nice to have that challenge of shutting down your senses for just a bit.
I did have trouble being mindful and meditating. It's not a huge area, but it's definitely not too restrictive. You can put your hands up or put them out. You can try different positions and see what makes you comfortable. But my mind was racing, and so then I started pushing myself back and forth. I would push off with my feet and then my hands, and I think I was like a little kid in a pool versus being as mindful as would have probably been that you're supposed to be. But I felt really relaxed afterwards, which is the thing I think was the greatest benefit. And eventually, probably with some practice, I could start to become more relaxed in the chamber. How did you feel afterwards?
I felt relaxed. It kind of felt like a long bath. So in that sense, it was nice on my muscles. And also, you have that little bit of sleepy feeling after you've been in water for that long. And also your mind tends to be a little more clear and relaxed. It doesn't race as much. So it felt a lot more restful and calming afterwards, but I was ready to go to bed after that.
Were you?
It's a place to meditate while in a way in reducing any sort of outside stressor or stimulant, so that you can actually focus more the mindfulness and the meditation and whatever you're going in to do at that moment.
Yeah, I'd say something similar. I think it's kind of like when you're playing in the swimming pool and then you have that moment where you just kind of relax and float and listen to the sounds, and it's really relaxing. As soon as I got my thoughts quieted down, it was kind of like that, and I think it was really worthwhile to try out. Pricing wise, it's costs anywhere between $50 to $80, $85 depending on the place. There's really good Groupons and promotions that you can find. And then they try to sell you a monthly subscription where you just are a member and can float as many times as you want, I think. So there's all different deals. But if you want to email me, I will let you know the places I've been and which one I recommend. I really liked the pod with the light and the intercom. I think especially for a first-time floater that's a good configuration. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for future ones. And I would love to hear in the comments if you've tried floating, what you think of it, or if there's other activities that you do to promote mindfulness, what they are, and we can learn from each other. So thanks, David. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Lisa.